Are you ready? Because he's ready. It's Master Jeff! Martial arts expert, instructor extraordinaire, and general clown. He's not afraid of coronavirus. He's not afraid of the bad guys. Master Jeff is not afraid of anything.
All right, wouldn't you know it, the Riano kids log in right at the nick of time. Hey, Angela and Matthew, how you doing? Cool. Oh, you retracted your message. That is okay. And wow, looks like we have 4 viewers, only one of which has chatted anything, which is fine. So since the Rianos are logged in, but they haven't been here all week, I'm going to show you what we've been working on. Let me see here. This is called the Tai Chi 24-point animal form. And let me back up a minute. Usually this show, this YouTube live stream, is all about a prison cell style workout. It started when the shutdowns and the lockdowns happened. Nobody's allowed to leave their homes or whatever, and everything's closed. So how do you work out when everything's closed? Well, you can do push-ups, you can do sit-ups, and then you start thinking, wait a minute, well, how do I work on things like my lats, these muscles? Those muscles are the ones you use to pull down or pull back like this. So we came up with things you could do with no equipment, no gear, like floor drags. You drag yourself along the floor like this. Or if you're on a slick floor, you can keep your arms straight and pull your body up like this, and then just drag yourself back down. So you drag yourself forward like so. And then what about curls? How do you work on your biceps, right? Without weights or without a chin-up bar? Well, we do belt curls. You just double your belt over like this. Step on that bad boy. Give yourself some resistance with your foot, and then you lift with your arms. So now I'm able to lift, quote, weights, but it's not really a weight I'm lifting. It's the resistance of my own foot, like in a prison cell. And if you don't happen to have a taekwondo belt sitting around, well, you can roll up a bed sheet, even use a bed sheet. Anything you can find that you can hold in your hand and loops under your foot, etc., etc. But then Master Jeff had hernia surgery, so I can't put a whole lot of oomph into my push-ups, and I definitely can't do crunches because it's the tummy they cut into. And so we switched gears temporarily for a couple of weeks. The first week I couldn't do anything. So I would basically sit in a chair going, oh, with an ice pack on my tummy, and I would let Zoe do the exercises to kind of lead the workout for the morning. This week, at the end of which we are now, I decided to switch gears to Tai Chi. And we always open up with Tai Chi exercises, just a single kind of an exercise like these things called kokyunages. It would stand up and go this way, kokyunage. So we always start with a gentle warm-up exercise anyway. So I thought this week we would really dive into some Tai Chi because it's a gentle exercise that I can do with doctor approval. But the 24-point animal form is a long, complicated form. It's very slow, it's very gentle, but it is long and arduous to learn. So anyway, that being said, this is today's class concludes our Tai Chi week. Now, Matthew and Angela, what we did was Monday we did section 5. Then Tuesday we did section 4 and 5. Wednesday we did 3, 4, 5. Tuesday or Thursday, yesterday we did 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then today we're going to start with section 1 and go through the whole thing. The logic being, if you start at the end, then you'll become more confident with the form as you proceed. If we started with the beginning, you'd really know it really, really well. And then on day 5, you only get one chance to go over the end, right? So naturally, when you practice, you're going to start at the beginning and go as far as you can, then you'll mess up and you'll decide to start over, and you'll do the beginning again. Then you'll do the beginning again and get farther and farther into the form. So between learning it backwards and practicing it forwards, you're more likely to know the whole thing. Since you guys have missed that, I'm going to take kind of a different approach with you guys and just show you the whole thing, after which we will break this bad boy down. So here is the whole form. You see me down here, right here. Hi guys! I'm down here in the corner watching. I am still here. So there's Master Jeff years ago. And we're starting with part 1. If you look over on the right side of your screen, you'll see some kind of memory things. Part 1 is 3 plus 1. We're going to do 3 kokunages. That's a kokunage. And there was the first one. Here comes the second one. Here comes the third one. 3 kokunages. Then we're going to do a cheat step into a cat stance and do a huge kokunage. We're going to go up and down instead of backwards and forwards. Now we're going to keep the left foot going forward and we're going to do 3 cobra strikes. Look at my right hand. See how it's like a cobra striking? Of course, it's really a palm strike, but the way it's executed, it starts flat and then the head comes up and you palm strike. That's why it looks like a cobra. Look at my right hand. See, it's straight like a snake and then it pops its head up and strikes. Now we're going to strum the lute. That's what it's called in Tai Chi. And do a little kick, and we end up in a triangle stance. This is part 2. It's the 3s. We do 3 sets of 3. 3 backwards cat stance kokunages. There's 1. There's 2. Then here comes a third one. Now another set of 3, which is the palm strike, escape, crane. There's the palm strike. Somebody grabs my wrists, so I do a double wrist grab escape, and then I attack his little areas right here with praying mantis strikes or crane wings. There's the escape, and there's the crane. And I guess that really should have been left and then right. Not right and then left. This is part 3. See how I'm making ocean waves? I'll explain what that technique's doing in a moment. We do 6 of them, and then we break into a great big old crane. Crane are those big long neck birds you see out at the canal, and they do their wings like this when they're mad. This, what I'm doing now, is clouds. It looks like you're holding a cloud in your hand, see? And that transforms back into waves. So we do 6 waves, 6 clouds, and then 6 more waves, and we end with a big old crane. Part 4 is the 2s. We come up and we do a tenchi naga. That means heaven and earth. Notice how one hand's up, one hand's down. That's why they call it heaven and earth. Then you step forward. Notice how it looks like my hands are painting a wall. There's 1 set of 2. Here's another set of 2. A stick block and cat stance. And then you step forward for a double knuckle strike, like a double inside back fist. Then another set of 2. I just twist around, I stick block right in place, do a cheat step forward, and make a crane stance. Finally, part 5, which is another set of 2s, we do 2 Dawn of the Tigers. 1, pull through. You see this move in the form Dawn of the Tiger. That's why we call it tiger. Kick. There's the second tiger. Then we're going to do 2 moves that old Master Shen used to call little girl pushes big boulder. Look. Looks like a little girl pushing a big boulder, right? 2 of those. Now we're going to do what's called eye of the needle or threading the needle, which is really a spear hand straight down. And then we're going to come up and morph into a big old crane stance or praying mantis stance. Then we're going to twist around and block and then strike. Then we're going to reach for the sun, scoop up some water, put it above our heads and take a bath with it. And then your hands end in kind of a tabletop. There we go. Take a bow, Master Jeff. Thank you, Master Jeff. Let me see here. You know what? Before I go, I'm going to take my picture here. Hi, that's me right here, and I'm going to use it as a pointer. Whoops. Let's see, get it a little smaller. There we go, little tiny master jab. So up here in part 1, it is the 3+1 section. This is very common. This is very common in Taekwondo, 3+1 and 1+3. For example, take basic 1. What do you do down the middle? Down block, punch, 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 right? In Koryo, you do a down block throat strike, down block throat strike, down block throat strike, knee strike, 3+1. It's very common in martial arts. I don't know why, but it is. So this first part up here is a 3+1 part. You do 3 kokyunages and then a big, huge kokyunage. You do 3 cobras and then a strumming the loop. The second part is a set of 3s. You do 3 backwards cat stance kokyunages. Then you do this, I'm going to make myself big again. You do this palm strikes, wrist escape, crane position. You do it on each side, right? So that part is part 2, 3s. Right here, this waves and clouds is probably the simplest part of the form, and it looks really cool too. At part 4, we do sets of 2 tenchinages, these heaven and earth things like this. Then you do a stick block and a knuckle strike, then a stick block and a crane stance. Then finally, in part 5, it's another set of 2. There's a form called Dawn of the Tiger, and that's why we say 2 tigers right there. And so we do 2 of those, and then there's the little girl. I'll put my image right above it. The 2 girls, we call it for short, but it's little girl push big boulder. And then we do that needle strike, a spear hand straight down, followed by a crane, and then at the end, a block and a strike. Now, some of these are Tai Chi forms. Some of these we've kind of customized. And actually, let's see where all we do this. At the end, where this needle crane, since the crane kind of goes 45 degrees, we call that an angry praying mantis. And then when the crane stances are like this, we've been calling that a feeding mantis. Like the praying mantis is cutting something and he's eating. You have it like this straight ahead. So we're calling these cranes when you're out like wings. We're calling the 90 degree like this. We're calling that a praying mantis or an angry praying mantis. We're calling this a praying mantis or a feeding praying mantis. So a lot of those places where it says crane, we've actually started calling it mantis. And Jordan, you might actually like this form because it's nice and gentle. And it is still a workout, absolutely still a workout if you do it correctly. Anything that is normally a workout, if you do it incorrectly, it becomes not a workout. So you do your forms like you're angry and trying to rip somebody's head off, that's a workout. If you do your forms like this, look, I'm doing basic 1. I'm not feeling anything. I'm not even out of breath. Yeah, because you're doing it wrong. So same way with push-ups. If you're doing your body like this on push-ups, you're going to probably be like, look, I can do 1,000 push-ups. No, you can't. You can do 1,000 of these wave things, but you can't do 1,000 push-ups. I bet you can't do 2. If you keep your body stiff like a diving board, rigid, and you bend those elbows and go all the way down, probably you won't be able to do more than a couple until you start training. And one of the things we do in early morning workout is 100 push-ups. We do them a few at a time, but we get 100 in by the end of the hour. And you can do that too. It's kind of a cool project to take on, is the ability to do 100 push-ups and in one day. And I started off like 5 at a time on a counter because I was like 260 pounds. Yikes. And so I was super, super heavy. A lot of weight to lift, right? As I lost weight and worked out with the push-ups, I gradually moved down to the backs of chairs. Then as that became easy, I gradually moved to the seats of chairs. And then the next thing you know, I'm on the floor. And of course, every time I go down one level, my repetitions also go down and I have to build them back up. So countertop 5, 10, 20, 40. Ooh, look at me. Chair backs 5, 10, 40, etc. Chair seats, the same thing. Then on the floor, I started with 5, 10, etc. all the way up. And at this point, well, at the point where I went and got my hernia surgery, I was up to 40 good ones reliably. I could knock out 40 in a row. So to get my 100 in for the day, I do 40, wait a few minutes, 40 more, wait a few minutes, do 20, done, baby. 100 push-ups for the day. Good project to take on. Okay, so without further ado, let's look at, we're going to go ahead and start backwards again. And I'm going to stand as if I were in front of you in line in class. So we're lined up for class like this, right? Chili up, get the high-o, all that stuff. This is where the form starts. Now, in section 5, we're turned around this way. So you should also be turned around facing away from the camera. So turn around. Don't look at me. Turn around. All right. Once you got your tummy going that direction, you can now watch me over your shoulder and do the same thing I do. So here is section 5. We're going to go backwards through the whole form today. You're in a crane stance. Your arms apart like this. This part should be 45 degrees. This part straight up. Your wrists curl over like this. So we're in a cat stance, crane position. We guard. We bring the right hand around. Right when it does a block with the front leg, we kick. Loop that arm through. And come up to this position. Now your left arm, kick, loop it through, and you end up right here. Then we're going to do 2 little girl push big boulders. I'm going to back up a little bit. We step forward, little girl push big boulder. Little girl push big boulder. Then we're going to cheat step. That means instead of stepping forward with our right, we're going to scooch forward with our right and leave our left in front. So I started with the left in front, and I still have my left in front. So we're here, little girl push big boulder, cheat step, cat stance, needle straight down, and then we're going to keep going with that left foot straight forward to a front stance, and here's the angry praying mantis. You're at a 90 degrees, so your arms are at this. If you're looking at me from above, my arms are at this angle. Not flat, not forward, but 90 degrees. So my left arm is going straight forward. My right arm is coming straight forward toward the camera. And your left foot is forward. Now we twist our feet. Take your right foot over. Block. Step forward. Strike. And then we'll reach for the sun. Now you're facing my back like we're in class, right? Sun, scoop up water, take a bath, hands on the tabletop, boom, just like that. So let's try it again. I'm not going to narrate so much this time. I'll give you a few little tips. And you can also look right over here. We're on part 5. We're going to start off in a crane stance. We're going to do 2 Dawn of the Tigers, 2 little girl push big boulders, and then needle and crane, and then the block and the strike. So we are, turn around, don't look at me. You're facing that way, remember, we're lined up in class. Cat stance, crane. 2 Dawn of the Tigers. Big circle, kick, step through. Block, Dawn of the Tiger. Now 2 little girl push big boulder. 1, 2. Now the needle, cat stance, and you remember you did a cheat step. Left foot forward, angry praying mantis. And we twist our feet, adjust, block, strike, big old circle. Reach for the sun, scoop up water, up, take a bath. Hands on the tabletop like this. And back around. Boom. Just like that. So that is section 5. Now we're going to go to section 4, part 4, and this is another set of 2s. We're going to do 2 tenchi nages. That's this thing. So imagine you're painting like this, and your other hand is painting like that, but you're painting in opposite directions. Like this. And your right hand is always on top. So for the tenchi nages, we start, and do I have my back to you? Yes. So you're looking at me this time, you're facing me, because remember we're lined up in class, and we're in a kind of twisted front stance crane position. So I'm right here, right? I scooch back to a cat stance, loop through just like the Dawn of the Tiger, but this time we're going to heaven and earth like we're painting a wall, right? Then we paint again, leave the right hand on top, left foot forward. Cat stance, tenchi nage. Then we step forward for another cat stance, but instead of straight, we're going to go 45 degrees. Stick block. And keep that right foot going forward for 2 knuckle strikes. In a front stance, shoulder width apart. So if you twist that stance, you don't end up going backwards, you end up going 45 degrees. That's because of the whole shoulder width apart. Check this out. If my feet are straight ahead, we'll use this blue line. If my feet are both on the same line, and I twist them, yes, I end up going 180 degrees the opposite direction, right? However, if my feet are shoulder width apart, and I twist them to shoulder width apart, I end up going 45 degrees. You could exaggerate that if my feet are in 2 corners, right? I've really got them more than shoulder width apart, where I'm standing on 2 corners of a square. Then if I twist my feet to the same position, I'm going 90 degrees. See what I mean? Pull them in a little closer. Now I'm going 45 degrees because I'm standing on 2 corners of a rectangle, right? So that's what's happening there. So we've just done that stick block. Then we cheat step up, do a collar grab escape. Your elbow follows your knee, and we're into the cat stance crane position. Let's start that again. So we're in a front stance, kind of a twisted front stance crane position. Scooch back to a cat stance, heaven and earth. Step again to a cat stance, heaven and earth. Step 45 degrees cat stance. Stick block, bend that left knee. Come back up straight ahead to a front stance, double knuckles. Twist, 45 degrees, stick block, scooch up, collar grab escape, and crane stance. Like that. One more time. We're here. Scooch back. Heaven and earth. Heaven and earth. Stick. Knuckles. Stick. Crane. And at that point, we go into section 5. Tiger. Tiger. Little girl. Little girl. Eye of the needle. Thread the needle. Keep moving forward. Angry praying mantis. This time you do adjust your stance. So you go 90 degrees. Block. Strike. Reach for the sun. Scoop up water. Take a bath. Done. Just like that. Now, section 3 is the waves and clouds. It is by far the simplest part, waves and clouds. I should probably put wave, cloud, wave, because you're going to do a set of waves, a set of clouds, and a set of waves. Hang on right there for a minute. I'm coming. Don't worry. I want to use this spiny, look at those spines. What's up with those spines? I wanted to use this thing to illustrate the clouds. So with that cloud move, it's like you have a cloud in your hand and you're going like this. But I'm always holding on to my cloud, right? Like this. That's the way your technique should look. An imaginary little miniature cloud in your hand. So I'm going to do this one, mirror image. So you're facing me and I'm facing you, because I am acting like your image in the mirror, even though God help you if you look in the mirror and you see this. Poor thing. All right, so, well, where do we start off from? Let's look at that to make sure we start from, oh, I remember. Never mind. We start right here. We're in the feeding crane position. So you're in a crane position, but your wings are going straight forward, so it looks more like a praying mantis to me. Then you go to a horse stance. Remember, you're facing me like a mirror, so you go to your left. Here's our ocean waves, right? And we do 6. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we end with a great big crane position, like this. Then we go back to horse stance, and 1, here's the clouds, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, transform into waves again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now let's a couple of little technique things. When you're doing the waves, your body should sway back and forth like this. When you're doing the clouds, your body only twists. See? No lateral motion. Waves, yes, lateral motion like that. Clouds like this. So let's start again. So you're off to your left with like a praying mantis eating his dinner. Move to a horse stance. And I'm sorry, you're off to your right. Let's do that again. You're off to your right like this. And then you move to your left with the first wave. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a big old crane position. And then ocean waves. And 1, 2, 3, 4. These are Tai Chi clouds. 5, 6. Now back to waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then a big old crane position off to your left. Looking at the screen, trying to get my hands right is really weird because the screen is not mirror image. Okay, a little bit more detail on this part. It's the simplest part, so we might as well know how to do it well. So the ocean waves, you're not just making a pretty representation of ocean waves. You're doing that, but it is actually a martial arts move. So here's the bad guy. Here's you, the good guy. The bad guy has grabbed your wrist. You're going to turn over, push into the palm of his hand. And if you do that, the bad guy has a really hard time hanging on. He can hang on easily like this. You twist your wrists over and push into the palm of his hand. All of a sudden, in order to keep his grip, he has to follow you, right? So the bad guy is grabbing my wrist. I'm turning it over, pushing into the palm of his hand. It's a parallel grab, by the way. Left hand grabbing right wrist. So Rianos, if you're at home, one of you can be the bad guy. Use your left hand. The bad guy uses left hand. Grabs the good guy's right wrist. The good guy turns over, pushes into the palm. And you'll see what I mean. So he's grabbing me with his left hand. I'm turning over, pushing into his palm. Now, when this happens, to follow me, he's going to be like this, right? Because I'm pushing him down. As soon as he starts on his way down, I catch the back of his neck. So now I've got his hand here, pushing his neck, boom, he hits the dirt. Now the bad guy's going to grab this wrist. So I turn it over, push into his palm. When he loses his balance, I catch the back of his neck, whoom, throw him down. Then the other side, here's pushing into the palm. Doesn't matter what my fingers do, I just need to be turned over. This hand I won't open because I'm grabbing the back of a neck. 1, then you switch roles. Palm, neck. Palm, neck. Palm, neck. So there's something to do with your hands there, right? A lot of hand action going on. As you're making those pretty ocean waves, your hands are actually doing something. It takes a little practice to get the coordination right. That is also why we're moving to the side. If the bad guy's attacking me and I'm catching his palm, I need to move with him to throw him down. He's grabbing my palm, I'm moving him, throwing him. Because I need that forward motion in order to move him. Then with the Tai Chi clouds, this can be a backwards elbow strike. It can also be a Sankyo reversal, which I really need somebody here to explain. But just trust me for right now. When you go to the clouds, imagine you have a ball in your hand and you're doing this. And remember, no side-to-side motion, just twisting motion in a horse stance. Then when you're ready for the ocean waves, palm and neck, palm and neck, palm and neck, palm and neck. So let's do these wave, cloud, waves again. Okay, so you're off to your right. Sorry about that mistake a while ago. You're off to your right. We're mirror image, so you're facing me. I'm your image in the mirror. God help you. Right here. To the left, wave. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a big old crane stance. Then the cloud hands. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Start your ocean waves. 1, 2, remember your hands. 3, 4, 5, 6, and then a big old crane stance. Like that. Now then, that's where we started a while ago, like this. Then we move into section 4. Let's go ahead and now I'm no longer mirror. I'm standing in front of you in class. So you should be facing me as I'm facing away from you, right? Just like we're lined up in class. We line up. All right, so we just got done with section 2, and we're about to do section 3, waves and clouds. So we're right here, off to your right. And now, here comes the waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a big old crane position. Clouds, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a big old crane. Now we scooch back. Here comes the tenchinagi, like you're painting. 1, 2. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. And then the 45-degree stick block, left hand on top. Keep going forward with your right, double knuckles. Turn this way. Now you're going away from me, looking over your shoulder at me. Stick block, cheat step forward, collar grab escape, knee follows elbow, and a big old crane. Now I'm going to scoot over this way for section 5. Come around, dawn of the tiger. Come around, dawn of the tiger. Little girl push big boulder. And another one. Then a cheat step. Right comes forward, left stays in front. Cat stance, thread that needle. Step forward, and here's the angry praying mantis. We twist around, block, strike, reach for the sun, scoop up water, take a bath, hands on the table, and cut. So we just went 3 through 5. Well. If it's not Febe, what explanation could you possibly have for being so late? Well, we have the Rianos, we have Jordan, we have Febe that I see, but yet we have 5 viewers. Even if we call me a viewer, and sometimes YouTube counts me, sometimes they don't, still that's 4 viewers, yet we have 5. 4 chatters, yet we have 5 concurrent viewers. That means we have a lurker among us. Lurkers, you are welcome. We don't expect you to chat. You might be too shy, and that is perfectly fine. On to section 2 as we move backwards through the form. Okay, so section 2 is sets of 3. We're going to be moving backwards. We will have just stopped after this thing. Remember this in the form? Like this, and you do your little triangle stance. We're going to step backwards 3 times. 3 cat stance kokunages, moving backwards. Then we're going to do this set of palm escape, crane stance, and then another one, palm escape, crane stance. These should be reversed though. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and reverse those. The right and the left on section 2. Section 2, that right should be a left, and this left should be a right, like that. Okay, cool. Cool. All right, so I was going to get straight. Oh yeah, we'll start right here. All right. So just trust me with the starting position. You'll see that I'm right later. We have our left foot forward, right foot back, and this is a triangle stance. So look at my feet. I've got forward like this, my foot is up, and see how my shins and the floor are making a triangle. My thighs are parallel, and then my shins make a triangle. So we've just kicked and come down for a triangle stance like this. Okay. So here we are at that stance, triangle stance. We put our left foot back, a cat stance, kokyunage. And then again, cat stance, kokyunage. One more time, cat stance, kokyunage. Now we step back, we do a double palm strike, but the bad guy grabs our wrists. So we pull back, twist his wrists over, and escape. We pull back again, and we attack him like an angry praying mantis, a feeding praying mantis, a crane beats. Then we twist around and do the same thing to the right. Palms, escape, crane, just like that. Let's talk the details of this. That double palm strike, you're going right here. And boy, those places on me are sore right now. That's the only place I still have soreness from the hernia surgery. Feels kind of a sicky soreness. So if I'm palm striking somebody here, it's best to get my fingers off to the side to go around their tummy so that the palm can dig in, poof, right here, both sides. So you're striking them, poof. What's going to happen when somebody hits there? They're going to go, ah, and grab your wrists, right? So you grab my wrists, but I turn over, come over your arms, and down like this, which breaks me out of your grip. Then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to take these crane beaks or praying mantis pointers, whatever, and I'm going to hit right here. Your trapezoid muscle is right there. Your collarbone is here. Right in between is a nice soft spot that works well to hit and gives a little shock to them. So you're palm striking, pull back, escaping, pull back, crane strike, or the feeding praying mantis position. So let's do section 2 again. Starting right here, triangle position, left hand on top, step back, cat stance, kokyunage. Step back, cat stance, kokyunage. And another one, step back, cat stance, kokyunage. Then we step back, double palm strike. Step back, escape. Step back, crane strike, praying mantis feeding. Twist around. Palm strikes. Step back, escape from the grip. Step back, praying mantis. Now you know this part because we've done it. Waves and clouds. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a big old crane. Cloud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm doing it wrong. Something happened. Something happened. I don't know what I did wrong. If we're here, step back, we end up this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and crane. I forgot to start with and on the clouds. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ocean waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a big old crane position. We scooch back, and here comes heaven and earth, painting the wall. Another one with your left foot forward. 45-degree stick block. Knuckle strike. And now the stick block. Scooch up, crane stance. Finally, section 5, guard your face, circle around, kick with your front foot. There's one tiger. There's two tigers. Now it's time for two little girl push big boulder. 1, 2. Now cheat step, needle, and mentis. Now we turn, block, and strike. And then reach for the sun. Scoop up water. Take a bath. Hands on the tabletop. And we're done. Finally, we have part 1, which is the beginning, which is the new part for today. We're going to do 3 kokunages, then a huge kokunage. Remember, 3 plus 1. And then we're going to do 3 cobra strikes plus a strumming the lute. The Tai Chi guys call this strumming the lute. I'm strumming a lute. What's really going on is blocking. Or you can do this to the side. You're parrying something right by you. Parrying, parrying, parrying like this. Pedaling backwards. Or you can have your hands fixed like this, or they're little blocks. Both ways a block. You're kind of painting again, only you're pedaling backwards. Like this. And that's the way you do it in the form. Like this. All right, that will be the beginning of the form. And I'll show you first part 1, mirror image. You're looking at me as if I were your mirror image in the mirror, right? So you start right here. And you come around, left foot goes out. Hands on the tabletop. Left foot goes out to a horse stance. And you have a defensive position. Then we come up, chamber, left, kokunage. Step back in chamber, kokunage. Step back in chamber, kokunage. Then we're going to do a cheat step and a huge kokunage. Left foot is forward. Left foot goes forward, and your right hand does the cobra strikes. So strike like a cobra. Step back in chamber, strike like a cobra. Step back in chamber, strike like a cobra. Cheat step, strum the lute. Blowing, blowing. Left foot kicks. And there's your triangle stance. Then we head into the backward stuff. Okay, so wow, I'm eating up the time today. So remember, we just learned part 1. I did it for you, mirror image. Let's do that opening section, which you kind of need to see. The other parts you can see no matter which way I do it. But you need mirror image for the beginning. So you're standing here just normally at attention. Your left foot kind of circles out as your hands circle in, and then they're on the tabletop. Then your left foot comes in, and you're painting here, paint brushes. Out to a horse stance, and you're like, stop! Right there, like a defensive position. So one more time. Left foot circles out, hands circle in, tabletop, horse stance, defense. Then you're off and running with the kokunages. 3 plus 1, 3 plus 1. 3 kokunages and a huge kokunage. 3 cobra strikes and strumming the lute. And then you can read down the rest of the list as we go, and I will narrate. But I'm turning my back. So imagine we're in class. We've just bowed in. You're standing behind me and following along as you do the form. Here we go. There we go. All right, ready? Hands on the tabletop. Horse stance, defensive posture. Front stance, kokunage. Step back, front stance, kokunage. Step back, front stance, kokunage. Then a cheat step, you keep the same foot in front, and a huge kokunage cat stance. I'm going to back up a little bit so I have some ways to go. Then the same leg goes forward, and you do a cobra strike. Next foot goes forward, cobra strike. Next foot goes forward, cobra strike. Then you start strumming as your chamber. Cheat step, left leg kicks, left hand on top, triangle stance. Sweep your left leg back. Cat stance, kokyunage. Right leg back. Cat stance, kokyunage. Left leg back. Cat stance, kokyunage. That's 3. And this section is all about 3. So now I'm going to go off to the left. Palm strikes. Escape. And crane attack. Twist around. Palm strikes. Escape. And bird's beaks. Time for waves and clouds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a big old crane stance. Clouds, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Transform to waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a big old crane. Scooch back to a cat stance. Here we're painting the walls, right? Heaven and earth. Right foot forward, right hand on top. Left foot forward, right hand still on top. 45 degrees stick block, cat stance. Keep that right leg going forward, double knuckles. Just twist your feet, don't adjust them. 45 degree stick block. Then we take a cheat step forward, knee follows elbow, and a big old crane stance. Now I'm going to scoot back so I have some room to work. Guard your face. Here comes the 2 Dawn of the Tigers. Kick, throw, block, kick, step, through. Little girl push big boulder. Little girl push big boulder. Thread that needle. Step forward for the angry praying mantis. And we twist around, block, strike, reach for the sun, scoop up water, take a bath, hands back on the tabletop, done. So we will take a quick run through, and I think what I'm going to do you guys even use these notes over here? Do you use those? I don't know. We're going to try, oh, hi Valeria, how you doing? Juby's birthday party yesterday, we watched a movie and left at 10ish, went to bed 11ish, was so tired, that's my quote excuse. See, that shows the sign of a warrior, that she put excuses in quotes because she's not accepting it as an excuse. And in her mind, this is a reason why she was late, but does not serve as excusable. I do understand the sentiment, girl. So what if I take this and move it way over here like that? Now it's out of our way. So I will have more room. And so I'll narrate the whole thing. And what we're going to do is do it fast instead of slow. That way you can kind of see the smaller parts because they won't be so stretched apart. So I'm standing in front of you in line. So we're all facing that way. Here we go. Attention. Hands on the tabletop. Defensive part position. 3 plus 1. 3 kokyus and a huge kokyu. 1, 2, 3. Sheet step. Huge kokyu. Then the same leg goes forward. 1. Cobra strikes. 2. Cobra strike. 3. Same leg forward. Strum the lute. Kick. Triangle position. Backwards, cat stance, kokyu. Now we're into the 3s. 1, 2, 3. Now the next set of 3s is palm, escape, crane. Palm, escape, crane beats. Turn, palm, escape, crane beats. Now we're into the waves and clouds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, crane. Clouds, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. More waves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Crane. Sheet back. Paint the walls, heaven and earth. Same hands, different feet. And now stick block knuckles. Stick block knuckles. Right leg forward. Twist around. Stick block, cheat step up. Big old crane position. I'm going to scoot over so we have room. Guard your face. Doe to the tiger. Huh. Doe to the tiger. Huh. Little girl push big boulder. Little girl push big boulder. Thread the needle. Left leg forward. Angry mantis. Turn around. Block. Strike. Sun. Scoop water. Take a bath. Tabletop. All right. To end the show today, we will. I'll go through the whole thing slowly, as it is supposed to be performed. And I'm going to back up away from you a little bit, or move forward away from you since you're behind me in line. Anyway, we'll do it as it's supposed to be done. So I will start here. How's that? Okay, here we go. Attention. Tabletop. Cool. Even that actually was a little fast and not perfectly executed because I kept turning around to make sure I wasn't stepping off the camera. Oh, another thing is I've got this big cool banner over here that I usually use for a background. See that banner right there? This thing. There's the mirrors. Hi, I'm in the mirror. See this banner? It's really cool. Usually I'm standing up there. Then I'm square with the mat. And it makes a much better stage. But because of the hernia, I just can't move all this equipment, especially moving the table, which would require some straining, and lifting the TV, which would require some straining. So starting next week, I think I'm going to be able to do that. So we'll be back to our normal stage. And tell you what, we'll start opening with the 24-point animal form. In the meantime, guys, it is already, what is it, 9:05? I am running so late. Good Lord. All right, guys, so thanks for showing up. Febby, good to see you. And Riano kids, very good to see you guys here. And Jordan, good to see you, man. I hope you can come to the actual dojo here pretty soon. And then whoever our lurkers were, hey, great to have you. All right, guys, Master Jeff is out of here.
This has been a South Miami Taekwondo live stream with Master Jeff. Avoid practicing the techniques learning live stream with Master Jeff. Drunk, stoned, sloshed, tipsy, buzzed, blotto, slammed, plowed, jolly, play-eyed, hammered, wasted, inebriated, or otherwise intoxicated. Watching live stream with Master Jeff, you acknowledge the possibility of and leave all liability for hematoma, laceration, occipital fracture, broken nose, acute mandibular dislocation, strained wrist, hyperextended elbow, broken ribs, bruising, or bleeding, tears, sprains, fractures, dislocated shoulder, or concussion. All rights reserved. Unauthorized presentation and publication strictly prohibited.